As beloved as Final Fantasy IX is, Necron is perhaps one of the most divisive facets in the entire game. If you're unfamiliar with the game, you may not know that it was Super Boss Hades who was meant to be the final boss. That wasn't until he became the Neville Longbottom of this franchise. Could have been the chosen one, ended up almost as an afterthought. Instead, we got this pull of a disappointment. Except, maybe he's not. What if I said that Necron was in fact an Eidolon? An Eidolon summoned from Gaia's crystal itself. Wait, hold on. Let me explain. Eidolons of Final Fantasy IX are used by Garnet's mother, the oh-so-luxurious Queen Braun, to devastate the Mist Continent and seize control of the 4 fragments of a crystal. A crystal that summons an Eidolon, just as many other gems in this game do. And Kuja, in a desperate bid to defy his fate, seeks this power to overthrow his creator and the life laid out for him. The story culminates in a fight against Kuja on a precipice overlooked by Gaia's crystal. The crystal, which is responsible for the cycle of life and death on this planet. And interestingly, a crystal that should be blue has tinges of red, and we see the 2 flows of Gaia and Terra's life cycles intersecting here. And in his final moments, Kuja declares, "Fork this all," and destroys it. But he can't really have destroyed it, right? I mean, our party, they're alive, they're right here. When our party awakes on the Hill of Despair, a weary, injured Zidane says, "What happened to the crystal?" And he is answered with, "You stand before the final dimension." The crystal is gone, and in its place we hear this disembodied voice instead. And in defiance of their fate, the party does battle against whatever this eldritch abomination is. Yeah, needless to say, people were confused. And as a kid, so was I. It wasn't until many years later, when I could better conceive and evaluate this game's handling of complex themes of death, nihilism, and the tempestuous desire of power, that I came to this conclusion. In his final bout of desperation, Kuja summoned Necron, the protector and possible failsafe of the crystal and of Gaia itself, indicated by this line: "When he sought to destroy the crystal, the purpose of life ended." Not convinced? Further evidence in the Ultimania states, Eidolons are born from the crystal, converted from an acclamation of memories within, to serve as guardians for the crystal. Necron himself goes on to explain, "I exist for one purpose, to return everything back to the Zero World, where there is no life and no crystal to give life." But then, if he's the crystal's guardian, why destroy it? Well, the crystal gathers the memories of its life forms, their joy, but also their sadness and hate. To purge Gaia's life of inexplicable fear, Necron endeavors to pick up Kuja's mantle, to destroy the crystal, the life it has created, and I think possibly to reset everything to the Zero World and begin anew. He believes that only through destruction can life forms have their true desires fulfilled. Else, life will continue to seek to destroy itself and cause further unnecessary suffering. This fits with the heavy nihilistic themes of this game, of the meaning of life and death, and that there is no living without suffering. And I believe that just like the life forms on Gaia and on Terra, the crystal can be reborn as well, to begin anew. And when Kuja's strong will for total annihilation culminated in attempting to destroy the crystal itself, it's precisely what was needed to trigger this summoning. Necron mirrors Kuja's emotions and desires, much as Eidolons do. When crashing into Pinnacle Rocks and meeting Ramuh, he tells Garnet this: "An Eidolon follows its summoner's orders." What's more, we see that not just summoners can call forward Eidolons. When in possession of the jewels housing Garnet's summons, Braun was able to use Eidolons to devastating effect. And whatever the Eidolons will, they were compelled to follow her desires. Thematically, this mirrors the plot of the entire game. Not just Eidolons themselves, not just greed or power, but rather the possession of power and the responsibility of committing that power to action. The fact that Necron says his purpose is to destroy the crystal indicates that he is not the crystal itself, despite his color palette, and that his existence is tied to the crystal, given that he is eternal, as long as there is life and death, and that a day will come that he will be summoned again. But there it is. That's my theory and my explanation for Necron. While it doesn't quite keep Necron from being a surprising last-minute boss, I think this theory still gives credence to his existence. If you've made this far into the video, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and leave a comment, and tell me what you think Necron is. Do you think he's an Eidolon? Do you think he's a crystal? Or do you think he just doesn't matter at all? And while you're at it, you may consider checking out some of my other videos. I'll have more gaming videos on the way shortly. See you soon!